This controller costs less than a pair of sneakers, but in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use it to mix like a pro. No expensive gear and no experience needed. The DDJ-FLX2 is one of the most popular entry-level DJ controllers on the market, and today I'm going to show you what it can actually do in the hands of someone who knows how to use it properly. It costs $200, it's for beginners, but trust me, it's not a toy. Let's get into it. This technique is all about rhythm and it's called finger drumming. And we're going to be using the performance pads right here as drum pads. We're going to set some hot cues and we're going to play out our own drum rhythms. This technique is super fun and it will add creativity to any DJ set. So first of all, we need to make sure that we're in the hot cue pad mode. To do this, hold down Shift and press the beat sync button. And this is where you can choose which pad mode you'd like to use. So this is hot cue, this is pad effects, this is loop, and this is sampler. Make sure that hot cue is selected. And now we can set 8 different hot cues on any track. A hot cue is simply a marker on the song which allows you to jump to that part of the track by using one of these pads. So you can see I've already got 5 hot cues set and we have 3 that are empty. Now, if you want to set a hot cue, all you need to do is press one of the pads that is not lit up and that will set a hot cue wherever you currently have the playhead position set to. Now let's take a listen to the hot cues that I've already set, and then I'll show you how you can perform finger drumming using these pads. So the first pad is set on the first downbeat of the track. It sounds like this. And then on these 3 pads right here, I have set different drum hits. I've got a kick on one pad, I've got a snare on another, and I've got a piece of percussion on the other pad. So let's take a listen. So that pad right there is a kick drum. This one is a snare. And then this pad is set to a percussion hit. So now I'm going to use those hot cues to perform some finger drumming and make my own drum beat. Let's take a listen. When done properly, this can add real flair to any DJ set. And if you want to learn more and go even deeper, then you should check out my full DDJ-FLX2 beginner to pro course. The link is in the description. This next technique is called the loop transition mix. I've got a Daft Punk track on the left deck and I'm going to set a 2-beat loop on this piece of vocal right here. One more time. So when it says one more, I'm going to set a 2-beat loop so that that piece of the vocal plays on repeat forever. To do that, we need to get into the loop pad mode. Hold down Shift, press beat sync, and now we can select loop. You can see in the record box screen what each one of these pads does. And we need to set a 2-beat loop. So that would be this pad right here. Now I'm going to play the song and I'm going to set a 2-beat loop as the song is playing. So now we can halve the loop by pressing these pads right here. So now let's take a listen to what that would sound like in an actual mix. This is the type of trick that makes a mix sound polished, and it's one of many different techniques that I go into inside the full course. Now, despite the Flex 2 being a beginner controller, you can actually scratch to a high level using this jog wheel and this fader. Here are 2 basic scratch techniques that you could quickly learn and start adding to your sets right away. So right here, I've got a scratch sample, which sounds like this. And the first technique we're going to learn with that sound is the baby scratch. And the reason it's called the baby scratch is because it's the baby steps that you take when you first start learning. The baby scratch doesn't involve the crossfader at all. You simply move the jog wheel backwards and forwards rhythmically whilst keeping your hand on the jog wheel. Now the crossfader right here is currently all the way over to the right side. This means that only the right deck is playing. So if I move this jog wheel, you cannot hear the sound. If I were to move the crossfader over slightly, you can now hear that sound. If I move it back again, you can't hear it. Now, when it comes to scratching, the crossfader acts as an on-off switch. For the baby scratch, we keep the crossfader in the middle and we only concentrate on the jog wheel. So whilst keeping your hand on the jog wheel, you want to move the sound backwards and forwards like that. And you want your hand to be around the 9 o'clock position on the jog wheel at the beginning of the sound, like it is here. The baby scratch just involves moving the jog wheel backwards and forwards in time. So just practice that motion just to get comfortable with moving the jog wheel. So that is the baby scratch. And the next scratch that we're going to be learning is called the forward scratch. And that does involve the crossfader. Now for the forward scratch, we actually take our hand off the jog wheel to let the sound play. And then we put our hand on the jog wheel at the end of the sound to stop it. And then we close the fader and we bring the sound back to the start of the sound. But because we've moved the crossfader over, we cannot hear the reverse sound. And then what we do is we open the fader and we let the sound play. And then we put our hand on the jog wheel again around this position. We close the fader and we bring the sound back. And we just repeat that process. So all we're doing here is we're letting the forward sound play, but we're turning off the backward sound. And when you get more comfortable with it, you can start speeding it up. Now let's take a listen to what a combination of those two scratches sounds like over an instrumental. Now you don't need to be a DMC champion to do this stuff, but you do need to learn the foundational techniques the right way. Having the right guidance is super important. Now let's talk effects, and specifically we're going to be talking about the pad effects pad mode on the DDJ-FLX2. To get to that, let's hold down Shift and press Beat Sync, and then we can select pad effects right here. And now you can see on the record box screen that the display has changed to show the pad effects. And the way that the pad effects are laid out here is exactly the same way they're laid out here on the performance pads. Now, pad effects are one of the most fun ways of using effects on any DJ controller, not just an entry-level one. They're super intuitive, they're really hands-on, and they're also one of the quickest ways of using effects that actually sound good. Let's take a listen to what each of these pad effects sounds like with a drum and bass track. When it comes to pad effects, there is so much more to it because you can actually go in and customize each pad effect to sound exactly how you want it to. And that is another thing that I break down in way more detail inside the full course. The DDJ-FLX2 also has another super useful way of using effects in your sets, and it's called Smart CFX. Now these knobs right here can be used either to control the filter, or you can change it to control Smart CFX. To enable Smart CFX, just hold down Shift and press the master button right here. This will switch these knobs between controlling the filter or Smart CFX. And then to choose which Smart CFX you use, hold down Shift and press one of these two buttons right here, and this will cycle through the different Smart CFX. My favorites are Phantom Echo, Vaporize, and Noise Chopper, and I'm going to show you exactly what they sound like right now. So if you've just picked up your DDJ-FLX2 or you're not quite feeling confident behind the decks yet, my full Flex 2 Beginner to Pro course was made for you. It will take you from your very first mix all the way to pro level DJ transitions, as well as effects, looping, and way more. If you want to check it out, then just hit the link down in the description. Hopefully that inspired you to show you what's actually possible with such a beginner DJ controller. And if you want to check out more from me and my channel, then I recommend this video right here.